All right. It's showtime. All right. Hold on. All right. It's a little internet disconnection there. Can you hear me
There we
okay,
go.
Jamal?
I'm with you, Janelle. I'm with you. Uh-oh, you froze up again. All right. If you are streaming with me, if you're tuned in live on Facebook, YouTube, IG, bear with us. We seem to have a few technical difficulties, but we're going to get this up and running ASAP. So just stay tapped in, stay patient, because we're about to rock and roll and share some goodies. Tonight on this interview, you're going to hear me share the why behind the book, how this came about, what motivated me, what prompted me to pen this project. So I'm excited to share this with the world and all of my Facebook family friends, YouTube family friends, IG family friends. Stay tuned here. We'll get this up and running very shortly.
All right. I'm back, Jamal. Are you here?
All right, yeah, we're good.
All right. Sorry, guys. We're about to get started. I don't know what happened to my computer, but I need y'all to go ahead and share this because you know how you get started with stuff and stuff is a glimpse. So we about to get started. So thank y'all for staying with me. We are about to get into this with Jamal. I ain't gonna blame it on the devil, but I'm gonna blame it on the devil. But we're gonna get into it and go there. Just want to say congratulations to you, Jamal. Listen, it's been such a beautiful journey to just see where you are. And I just want to start off by saying, congratulations. Listen, y'all, he is a best selling author. Y'all hear that? He is a best selling author. So before we get into it, I just want you to tell the audience about you. Give us all the stuff about you because I know you've been through some stuff and it's unique. So go ahead and share. We're ready.
Well, it started just, inner city kid from Columbus, Ohio. Grew up with athletic dreams. Football was my life from the age of 9 and all the way through college, obviously, and had aspirations of playing for Ohio State when I started playing
Mm,
football at age 9. Eventually wanted to play in the NFL, and that's all I could think about was accomplishing those two things with my life, and couldn't really see anything outside of that. But
mm,
what I always tell people to, kind of harness when kids have kind of a singular focus. One thing that I learned is that a lot of people that have given up on their dreams, they'll try to convince you to not put all your eggs in one basket. And I convince people to put all your eggs into one basket. And as you continue to pursue that basket full of eggs, life will eventually either manifest that bag of eggs or it's going to take you in a different direction. But it will be because you chose to pursue that full bag of eggs that everything else in your life blossoms as a result of that singular focus. And so that was kind of my story with my pursuit to Ohio State. That journey and coming after that is what prepared me for all the things in life that I didn't know were coming. The ups, the downs, the adversities, the perceived failures, all those things that I couldn't see. That singular focus of getting to Ohio State and playing football there, that's what literally prepared me for the rest of my life. So that's just kind of my story in a snapshot. And obviously, in the book, I dive into all the ins and outs of that story as well.
yeah. So I want to kind of go back and just go and share some things that you said that was very profound that I really want people to hear. He said that growing up, he had this aspiration of, going to the Ohio State University, being in Columbus, Ohio, in each inner city child. Okay. So a lot of times that creates this odd against you. You don't know that as a kid, right? That this is creating an odd against you. But for you, you said, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing it. I want you to share with the audience one of the things that was so profound to me was you're saying, like, people normally share like their fears. They tell you not to put all your eggs in one basket and they tell you not to do all this stuff. How were you able to overcome? Because I'm assuming some of these people are dots, people that you probably,
Mhm.
looked up to or got advice for. How were you able to still get to where you were, although they were telling you kind of like, don't do that? What was that like for you?
Yeah, well, it starts with having some examples that you can look at. And oftentimes coming from the inner city, we don't have those examples in our own family. But it's important, if you don't have it in your own family, you find some visual examples that you can look at and see that it's possible. We're visual creatures, and so we one of the ways that we manifest in this life is what we see. We get what we picture, and
Mm,
so those visual pictures are very vital for the success in our life. I was fortunate because I did have some visual pictures in my own family that I could look to. One of those being my uncle, who had played football at Ohio State in the 70s
mm,
and who had went on to play professional football in the NFL. And so I grew up knowing that it was possible, and I was able to witness and firsthand to see the lifestyle that he lived as a result of accomplishing that goal. And so I never had any doubt that it was possible for
mm,
me. So whenever I would hear well meaning friends or well meaning family members or well meaning teachers try to convince me to get off of that path,
mhm,
I already had the self belief that it was possible, and that was all I needed. And so for me, I was either going to accomplish it or I was going to die trying. And so that was just my mindset. It was an unwavering belief that it was possible.
Mm. So you hear that unwavering belief that it was possible. So being in a mindset where no matter what was going on or what no matter what was happening, I was still going to get this done, and I was going to become this giant best-selling author. There y'all go. I want y'all to make sure y'all get this book and accomplish that. And I know we're talking about on the field, off the field, but what would you share to like young Jamal? How would you talk to him now? Like, what nuggets would you give young Jamal as you're navigating through this?
I would tell, if I could go back to that 9-year-old that started playing
Mm,
football and had this dream, I would tell him that you can go further than you can even imagine right now.
mm,
Write down your goals and have an unwavering belief that it's possible, and know that once you set your intention, the laws of the universe kick in and will begin to aid you in various ways to bring that to pass. But it starts with your belief and your intention
mm,
to accomplish the goal. And so I would tell that young Jamal, don't limit yourself. There's nothing that you can't accomplish on this earth if you have the physical ability to do so and you have the unwavering belief and the intention to make it so. And so that's what I would tell the younger Jamal.
yes. So listen, y'all have to make sure y'all grab. I'm not playing. If y'all have not gotten the book yet, make sure you grab the book so that you're able to really hear his story. Is and I know it's Purpose Beyond the Playbook. Let's talk about the title. It's Purpose Beyond the Playbook. So that whole title is saying something very powerful. So it's really getting to a space where you're learning from a champion. And speaking of that, my first question is coming up. So you were a champion in 2002, national champions at the Ohio State University. And most people would say that the pinnacle, that's your pinnacle of your life. So what happened inside you when that season ended and the stadium went quiet?
Yeah, it's an interesting feeling, Janelle, because you work so hard to accomplish a goal like that, and it just seems like the biggest goal in the world. And so, you're climbing to the mountaintop, and then once you get there, it's kind of like, hmm, is there more? This is it. And
Mm,
so there was a little bit of that feeling. And what you often realize, and what I realized in that moment, really the next morning we woke up, what I realized is that really the beauty is in the journey.
mm,
Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And so it helps you to appreciate the journey as we're striving to accomplish these goals and these different things for our life. Take the time to appreciate all of the journey, because once you get whatever you think is going to change your life, you'll realize that it doesn't really change your life, but the journey along the way is what
mm.
made you a better person. The journey along the way is what created the impact that'll long outlive you on this plane of existence. So that's what the value was for me after we won the national championship, was really just appreciating the journey of how we got there. And so that's the principle that carried me through the various ups and downs that I would later experience in the coming years that I didn't know was coming.
Listen, it's about the journey. Like I can imagine, being on that field. I remember, like, the watching that game. I know it's amazing, like just watching that game and like seeing them, like seeing you guys win. And I know we at that time was at Columbus Christensen too, so I remember the whole thing at the
Yeah,
church. So watching all of that and seeing all that, all the hype around that, and you're like, oh man, this is the moment I live for. And then after the game, when you have life off the field, you're saying, see, that moment didn't teach me. It was a journey that taught
absolutely.
me how to get there. That's
Yep.
like, tell us about the biggest aha moment with that journey that you learned about Jamal.
The biggest aha moment that I learned is that failure is never fatal unless it's final.
Let me see. You got me about this, my collection plate. You got me about to pass the collection plate around. Like, so let's
10%. Give me the
10%.
10%.
Listen,
Hey.
say that again.
Failure is never fatal unless it's final.
Mm, mm, mm,
And
mm,
it's only final if you quit.
mm. Mm-mm-mm.
So failure is just a part of the journey.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
a lot of times we see people in a point in their life where they failed. Maybe they've
Mm,
gone through a divorce. Maybe they've lost a job. Maybe their finances aren't where they want them to be. Maybe they lost a business. We see people when they've failed, quote unquote, but that's just a part of their journey and it's not over.
mm,
See, you gotta find the people that will stick with you in your life in the it's not over part. You
mm,
got a lot of people that are with you when you're not in the failure season, but what about the people, evaluate the people in your life who are going to stick with you in that failure season, because
mm,
that's your true tribe right there. And so in playing football, it's 100 of us on the team. We fail or we succeed together. So
mm-hmm,
we had that band of brothers, so to speak, that in the failure season, in the failure moments, we had those people that would support us and help us to keep going. Well, in your own individual life, it's the same way. It's still important to find those teammates in your life that
mm.
in your failure season, in your failure moment, will help you to keep going. Because if you keep going, I promise you, success is on the other side. You have
Mm.
no choice but to win if you keep going. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the desire, you wouldn't have the dream inside of you. So find those people that are going to help.
He's in a phone call. Was you in a phone call? Are you there? We hear Jamal. I
I've
know we
lost you.
have
Can you hear
some.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I know we have some technical stuff, but like but you're like the people finding the people. Give me more about that. Finding the people. What does that mean?
I'm sorry, Janelle. I had a call come in and
I
totally
told
threw my
y'all.
Bluetooth off. What
I said he getting a
would you
call.
say?
I said like talking about those people because this is like such a journey, kind of journey where you're saying it also in real life having these teammates. Like it's not just we're failing individually, we're failing as a team, right? So then when you're talking about real life, having those people, having those teammates, like what was that like for you in real life where you're on your journey and you're having your support system? I know that, let's be honest, when we're having support system, some people drop off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They do. And a lot of them drop off. I think, and that's why it's important. You really only need one or two. You have one or two that are your teammates that can help you get over the hump. And if you don't have those one or two, then you need to have that's where that foundation of
Mm,
faith and knowing you have to have within yourself that everything is happening for me. And you have
mhm,
to have faith in the universal laws and principles to keep going. But whether it's you individually having that faith and that knowing, and that's your teammate, or you have the physical presence of a friend or two friends, either way, that's what you have to lean on in those failure moments to get you to the other side.
yeah. Now this is awesome, and everyone who's joining, I really appreciate you guys being here. I know we have some technical difficulties, but don't let that stop y'all because Jamal is dope, and I know that in this interview some nuggets are about to be dropped, and we're going to really ask more questions. And this question is, why did you write the book? Why now? Why did you say, you know what, I'm about to get into purpose beyond the playbook because I need people to know, what.
Well, it was birthed out of pain. It was birthed out of
Mm,
pain. It started just with me journaling. I had just went through my second divorce 5 years
mm.
ago. Yes, I did say second. I'm a
Mm.
two-time offender. But in that, through that process of going through that, it was so painful that
Mm.
I needed an outlet. So I just started journaling in 2021. And that
Okay.
journaling helped me to realize that I had so much inside of me
Mhm.
that I needed to get out. And so the thought at that moment came, okay, well, let's write a book. And I had never thought about writing a book ever in my
Mm.
life. My mom had written a children's book a couple of years
Oh,
ago. My brother had written a book as well, a Christian apologetics book. But I never had a desire to write a book until that moment. And so I started kind of putting some chapters together.
wow. Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of hit a writer's block for about
Mm.
4 years. And a 4 years writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of it was around November of 2025. I just got inspired. I had a couple conversations
Mm-hmm.
that it was just kind of aha moments in those conversations where
Mm-hmm.
it was like people needed to hear my story, and I was sitting
Mm-hmm.
on this project that I started and put down for the last 4 years, and I was being selfish because I had
Mm.
talked myself out of it so many times. And just through those conversations, the fire got lit that, yeah, it's time for you to share your story. It doesn't matter how many sales you get, it doesn't matter if it's
Mm.
one person that hears it, it doesn't matter if it's a million people, but somebody needs to hear your story. And so, in that moment, I finished the book over the next few weeks, and here we are. I got connected with you. You helped me through the
No, nope.
process.
Now he's a best-selling author. Um, so I mean, it's just so dope because there are so many people who need to hear your story.
Yeah,
You know, like there's a lot because even like you said, two-time divorce offender, which I think is funny. Some people see that as a failure.
yeah, yeah,
Right? Like,
absolutely.
right? And this is why we're going to Purpose Beyond the Playbook, because even that, like a divorce or being married, that could be a whole game. I mean, I'm not game like that, but you're living a life where you got these people that's playing this role. And then if you're going beyond that, if your identity was connected to that, then what? You can be
And
like, I'm a failure, I quit. Does it make sense?
absolutely. And that's where the title comes from. See, a playbook is, if everything goes according to plan, this is what should happen. When you get a
Mm,
playbook as a player, we have plays in there that are scripted that if everything goes according to plan, this is how that play should work. Well, what happens when everything doesn't go according to plan?
mm,
What happened when that play isn't working? Who are you then?
mm,
And that's where the title and the message of Purpose Beyond the Playbook, because one thing's for sure is that life isn't always going to go according to plan. There are moments in our life that we've experienced, there's moments that we're going to experience that we didn't see coming. So who are we in those moments when we're blindsided?
mm,
And that really is the core of the trajectory of your life will be determined by who you are in those moments when you're blindsided by life.
mm. We need to say that again. Who you are in those moments when you're blindsided by life. Because let's be honest, I don't care who you are, something is gonna go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not exempt. Like something is gonna go down. So in those moments, who are you? Okay, that's good. Now the next question is: there's moments in most people's lives where they realize their identity is tied to a role, not who they actually are. When did that moment hit you, and what does it cost you before you figure it out?
Mm, it cost me everything.
Mm,
It cost me everything.
mm.
It cost me my marriage. It cost me my family. Um, because I was tied to my role. I was playing the role, but I hadn't done the work to become the man.
Ooh, I need to write. That needs to be your next book. Yes.
Yeah, I was playing the role, but I hadn't done the work to become the man. And so there I'm going through life fitting the role of looking good to everybody else at the expense of being my authentic self.
Mm,
And so eventually, it doesn't catch up to you until it does catch up to you. And so
mhm,
eventually it caught up to me, and it came in the form of two failed marriages. And
mhm,
when the pain is great enough, that's when people change.
mhm.
Until that pain gets great enough, people will a lot of times hold on to that false identity or hold on to that role and play the game of looking good. Well, for me, the pain got great enough when my wife at the time, told me that she was done,
Mm,
and that forced me into a place of having having no choice but to either do the real work on myself or continue going down the downward spiral.
mm, 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 mm. So either doing the real work or going down a downward spiral. I like you said. So now I'm faced with a decision. I have to figure out what to do, especially when my life is about to change. Because you said it changed everything for me. And I know a lot of people are in this position where, they have their identity tied to so many things, football, careers, like all this stuff. And when it doesn't work out or it pivots into what you did not expect, what do you do? All right, we about to write
Yeah.
5 more books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's needed. And then we get into the next one. Purpose Beyond the Playbook isn't just a book title, right? It
Right.
sounds like it came from somewhere personal. Walk us through the moments when you knew this message had to exist and who it exists for.
Yeah, well, the moment came after the second divorce. And
Mm,
so for me, you know, we went through going back to that marriage. There was a period of time where we were separated, and that's when I really began to do the work on myself. And I got connected with a gentleman who absolutely changed my life, um, and gave me the tools that I had never been exposed to help me to live authentically.
mm,
And so in gaining those tools and coming back into my marriage, we got back together, but ultimately the damage was so tough that she made the decision to exit. Well,
mm,
that rocked me. And it was in that moment, like I said, I started journaling, but that's when the message of who are you beyond your role and your title, or when your role or your title changes, who are you? That's when the message was really birthed.
mm,
And because I had experienced so many different facets of life, from I'd been an overlooked athlete. I'd been a national
mm,
champion athlete at the highest level collegiately. I'd been an employee. I'd been a business owner. I'd been a successful business owner. I'd been a failed business owner. All these different aspects of life. I knew I could make this message fit for anybody in any walk of life.
mhm,
And so that was kind of the motivation that, okay, we're going to tailor this, we're going to make this a worldwide message, and we'll be able to make it applicable for youth. We'll be able to make it applicable for teenagers. We'll be able to make it fit for college students. We'll be able to make
mm,
it fit for young adults. We'll be able to make it fit for professionals. So, in any walk of life, we have this message of who are you beyond your current title and role. And this is a message that you need to hear, because it's a message that will literally carry you for the rest of your life and help you be the best version of yourself.
mm. So I love the fact that you're saying, listen, I know I bring the athleticism to this, but this is beyond that. We're
Absolutely.
talking to coaches, parents, careers. We're talking to anybody in this position, which everybody is in this position,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
Where
yeah.
this is beyond like, okay, we're just going to get you a little rah rah. This is really getting you to a space where you can understand is the decisions and the what you do after that, right? Like how you respond to that. Like you said, this is birthed out of pain. What do you
Yeah.
do with that pain?
I think number one, you have to feel it.
Mm,
I think it's important not to, a lot of times people will numb the pain, b-
mm-hmm,
but that's temporary. So it's important to sit with it and feel it, because when you sit with it and feel it, it allows you to do some really powerful self-reflection, so that you can grow and evolve and learn what you're supposed to learn in the pain, so that you don't repeat the same
mm,
behaviors that brought on the pain.
Mm,
even if it's pain that you have no control over. Maybe you have a loved one that's passed away that's very close to you. Obviously you didn't have control over that, but it's important for you in that moment to learn what you're supposed to learn, so that as you continue to move forward, you love your people more, you
mm,
appreciate their presence more, you don't take things for granted, you don't leave um, angry with certain individuals. So what are you
mhm.
supposed to learn? It's important. You can only learn it when you sit with it. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Only learn it when you sit with it. We see so many people who just try to push it away. They try to compartmentalize it. They try to hide it. They don't deal with it. And then 7 years go by, 25 years go by, 50 years went by, and that pain has sat there all those years and nothing's changed, and they're wondering why their life remained the same. I'm gonna
Yep.
take a break real quick and tell y'all to go get this book. Let me tell y'all, go to Amazon right now. Go ahead, go to Amazon, type in Amazon.com, and then go ahead and purchase the book. You can get the physical copy. Get both. Get the physical copy and get the ebook. This book is going to really help you as you navigate through who you are and your identity, and allow it not to stop you. He talks about being a failure, business, marriage, all the things. Like, he experienced it all. This is your opportunity to understand. I know there's people out there who is feeling this, who's had something shattered, something in their life shattered, and they're trying to figure out, where do I go from here? This is your answer. You're here for a reason. This is your answer. So go ahead and grab the book, not just be supportive, but to get the help. Stop playing, because it's needed. So go ahead and grab it. Go to Amazon.com and go ahead and grab your book. Now, the next question is, you work with student athletes, professionals, and leaders, people who look like they have it all together on the outside, kind of like what you were saying. What is the thing they all have in common that nobody talks about?
Pain.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm,
One thing that most people that I deal with at any level, there's a pain, there's a trauma that they're holding on to, oftentimes undealt with.
mm,
And I think if we normalize the fact that we all have it, 'cause a lot of times it's easy to be like, well, I'm the only one dealing with this, I'm the only one feeling this. I know when going through divorce, I felt like, man, I'm the only one that has been divorced. And then it happened the second time, and I was like, man, I'm the only one that's been divorced twice. Well,
mm,
then as you move and navigate, you realize, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. Other people
mhm,
have gone through this. And it's like that with any um, pain in our life. We're not the only one. You're not the only one going through what you go through. The key is, how are you navigating that pain? What are you doing? Are you learning? Are you growing through that as opposed to going through it? Are you growing through that as opposed to going through it? And that is the
mm,
key with every
mhm.
pain in our life, is we are to grow through it, not just go through it.
Yeah, I love that. Go through it and grow through it, because I think if we're going through it, it's almost like you just a factory worker on a hamster wheel. There's just going through the motions, going through the motions, going through the motions, and going through the motions. And for us, it's really not just going through the motions. Is okay, let me learn something from this, so I don't keep just being on this hamster wheel. Let me get off of it and then grow from that. And I think this is the power. This is the powerful moment, right? He's listen. If you're just joining me, I'm talking to Jamal Luke, best-selling author of Purpose Beyond the Playbook. And one of the things that was pivotal in his life was being a 2002 national champion with the Ohio State University. And I love Ohio State. Ohio State is my alumni, so I love Ohio State. So it's being there. But we're talking about going beyond the playbook. going beyond, the status quo. This is the structure in which and how it should go in the ideal world. What happens when that blows up, right? So
Yeah.
it's getting to that space, and you're right. I can really, really get to the space where I am identifying that, because a lot of people don't deal with trauma. A lot of people don't know how to deal with trauma. And then also what I learned is a lot of people don't understand that they have trauma.
Right.
Like they really think that, like, oh man, I had some dysfunction, but I ain't never had. And I'm like,
Right.
let me tell you what trauma is. And then people are like, oh, then there's a list of things. And then if you don't deal with that trauma, you revert to the last place of healing. So if something happened to you when you were 13, you gonna act every time you're triggered, you gonna act like you're 13. I don't want to get into a mental health
Mm.
lesson, but it's just one of those things where we're not dealing with it. It's gotten
Hmm.
better, but we're really not dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. That's
Yeah, so it's
powerful.
like, listen, don't we'll be here till 10 p.m. But but I am proud of you. I know we've been having some technical difficulties and things like that, so I appreciate you guys hanging with us. But this is a really deep, deep, deep subject, because we understand what happens when you don't get beyond the playbook, the status quo, beyond what you've been told. So if someone is watching this right now and they're in the middle of transition, career, identity, trauma, life, what is the one thing you want them to walk away with today?
Keep going.
Mm,
The
mhm,
the story, your story isn't over until you decide it's over.
mhm.
And so as you're going through the transition, as you're going through the failure, as you're going through the loss, no, that's a part of your journey, but it's not your final destination.
Yes.
And there's something that you're supposed to get out of that situation, that if you sit with it long enough, you'll figure that out, and that's going to aid you on your next step in life. So make sure
Mhm,
you take the time to appreciate where you are, be grateful that it showed up in your life, because it's there to serve you. Everything is happening for you, not to you.
mm,
Everything is happening for you, not to you. So just keep going, because the best is yet to come.
hmm. Everything is happening for you and not to you. I don't know about y'all. I've been in situations where I'm like, why is this happening?
Hmm.
Why me? You up here mad at God, or you whatever, because you're like, why did I have to go through this? I ain't do nothing to nobody, right? And
Exactly.
then it's like,
Yep.
and if you're looking at that from that perspective, I know that you can contest that everything that you went through, Jamal, you didn't like all the painful stuff. Not like,
Mm.
who
No.
does?
No. Yes.
But the beauty of it is you took it and you made it into purpose, and not for you, but to help other people. Like, this book is designed to help other people, right? So all
Absolutely.
that you went through, all the pain, all the failure, all the success
Hmm.
that you went through, just like your words say, is to help someone else. And this is why you wrote that book, because it's to help other people so that they are able to go beyond the playbook.
Without a doubt, there's no scar that you'll encounter in your life that'll go unused.
Mm,
Everything you've experienced is for somebody else's lifeline. There's
mm,
somebody that's waiting to hear your story of how you overcame, how you kept going, that they may never relate to me, but because they heard it from you,
mm, mm,
it's
mm,
going to be more relatable, and it's going to be exactly what they need when they need it for them to keep going. So you now created a legacy, a ripple effect, because you chose to keep going. And so that's why it's important. That's why this life is bigger than just ourselves. Eh,
mm.
We're all one, we're all connected. And so it's important for us to not give up on ourselves, because there's somebody else that's counting on us to make it.
Man, if you don't get anything else, I need you to understand there is an other side. Right,
Yes,
that's his point. There is the other side. There's something beyond the pain, the failures, the lack, all that stuff. There's something beyond that, is what his message is. And if you can understand that, you could pivot your life to change your life.
absolutely.
Listen, I need y'all to go grab that book. Boom. Go to Amazon. Go ahead and type it in. I'm not saying it's just an advertising because it's really powerful. And a lot of times, we're trying to figure out answers and we're trying to figure out how to get from point A to B. And picking up a book is having a direct conversation with Jamal on how he was able to do that in his own life. So really
Mhm.
pick up the book. Take the time to read it so that you can have this conversation with him and then follow him. And speaking of following him, where are you at? How do we stay in touch?
Yeah, so I'm on all the social medias, JLukeYDC, which stands for Young Dream Chasers. JLukeYDC on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X. So yeah, please follow me. I'd love to connect after you've purchased and read the book. Feel free to shoot me a message. I've been getting messages pretty much every day from people that have gotten nuggets and value from the book that they were just they had no idea that I had gone through that in my life.
Mm.
And so for me to share it in the book and then now it was something that they felt they could hold on to and apply to their life, that's what it's all about. So after you read the book, feel free to shoot me a message. Would love to hear how the book has maybe helped you take that next step in your life.
Yeah. And I would love for you to expound on that. Now, when you can also go to his website, right? The Purpose Beyond the Playbook. And listen, Jamal has gave you a generous opportunity to get his free journal. So tell us about your journal.
Yeah, so the journal is a 30-day journal just designed for you. Literally, we can walk together day by day. And I kind of share some of my mindset day by day. And so it's a 30-day journal that's designed to help you, puts you in the right space mentally to go out and attack and win your day with love and with gratitude. And so definitely download the free journal. It's an opportunity for us to tag team, and I can now be your teammate on a daily basis to help you overcome.
Yes, I love that. So go get the book. Now not only are you having a conversation with him, but then you also are diving deeper with him for 30 days. So then you're able to get that free journal, especially when you purchase the book. Well, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm in like best-selling author. I'm super duper proud of you. I really believe that you're going to write more books. I really believe, like you have programs like if like Jamal is a speaker, you need someone to come out to speak. He's able to talk to your teenagers, your college, your high school, like to your teammates. Is your coordinator? I know, like I'm pumping you up, but you deserve it. Like
I
he is
appreciate it.
that person that will come out to your team, to your whoever, your classrooms, your staff, your whatever you have. He's that person. And even if you need coaching, so I need y'all to holler at him. Go to his website, reach out to him on all his platforms because he absolutely has something to offer in various ways. Any last words? Any last comments?
I would just say, number one, thank you, Janelle, for the opportunity. Thank you for your help in the process, giving me this platform. To everybody that's tuned in, thank you for taking the time to tune in. And I would just say this: just know that the best in your life is on the horizon. Everything you've experienced to this point, whether you feel it's been the best thing ever, or you feel like you've experienced the worst thing over and over and over, just know that the best is yet to come,
Mm,
and that there's people that you're designed, you're put on this earth with a design to overcome, to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to impact people far beyond your timeline on this plane of
mm,
existence. And so
mhm,
there's a reason, just know that there's a reason that you've experienced what you've experienced up to this point in your life.
mm.
And that reason is to be a lifeline for somebody else to go to their next level. So
Yes.
keep going. I believe in you. Let me know how this book touches your life in a positive way. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. And just know there's a purpose beyond your playbook.
Yes. Woo, that was awesome. I actually want to interview again. We'll talk about it in a minute. But And again, remember to go get the book. You will be very thankful that you did. Go grab it on Amazon. And we are going to do a draw. So we're going to actually do it off camera. So we're going to do the spin the wheel, and then Jamal is going to tell you afterwards if you can get or where you can get his book, and also he'll give you a free book. So what I mean by that is because of the technical difficulties and things like that, I know a lot of people are going to watch afterwards. So if you're watching it, drop the comment Purpose Beyond the Playbook, and then we're going to enter your name into a drawing so you can get a free book. Again, if you're watching, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, and if you're watching, go ahead and drop Purpose Beyond the Playbook, and then we will actually do a raffle, and then Jamal will announce the winner, let's say Friday. What do you think, Jamal?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Well, it's so amazing for you to see you here. I really believe with all my heart that this is the beginning for you. And I know you keep saying for us, the best is yet to come. I really believe that for you too. The best is yet to come. You put a lot of work into this. So congratulations. Make sure you guys connect with Jamal, and we will see you soon. Thank you for joining us. Bye.